welcome back to my little series. This is a series of supernatural stories told by you to me via the email address nickdutchtarot@gmail.com. That's nickdutchtarot, all one word, lowercase, okay? The story has to be true. It's got to have happened to you. If it happened to somebody else and you've heard it secondhand, you have to tell me. So when I read the story out, then essentially it will be honest. And I want you to be as honest with me as you can be. And you can keep it anonymous as well, alright? The purpose of this is to build up a small repository or storage of various supernatural stories so people can watch them and make up their own damn mind as to what they think is real and what they think isn't, okay? So that's essentially my goal here. And yes, I will be making sure that I'm reading out stories which are good, so no X-rated content or whatever, you know what I mean. And then one step at a time, alright? So here's today's story. It says here, the following took place nearly 20 years ago. I was at that time married and living on the second floor of an apartment complex situated next door to a nursing home in which my wife Lisa worked at. On this particular morning, the alarm went off and my wife hopped into the shower to get ready for work. And I got up to start some coffee, and as was customary, I took the canary cage out of the bedroom closet, as the sunrise never failed to set them off before it was time to wake up. I fed the birds their seeds from one of those typical tall cans and placed the can on top of an igloo cooler just inside the closet door, and went to knock on the bathroom door to ask if my wife wanted me to start breakfast or if she planned to simply get something from the cafeteria at work when she got there. All she wanted was the coffee, so I returned to the bedroom to throw some clothes on, where I stopped short of the closet with wide-eyed wonder, as the can of birdseed was no longer sitting atop the igloo cooler just inside the closet, but instead was now resting on its side atop the steep angle of the bird's cage. I approached it and examined it for a moment without touching it, and quickly decided that to pull my wife out of the shower to see this as well. Shortly, we were both standing there, looking at the can laying at that impossible angle. After a minute or so, I reached out and took the can, and spent the better part of a minute trying to get it to lay where it had been, with entirely no success. So the story was saying it had been placed in a pretty impossible angle, somehow supported almost by magic, is it so to speak. This was the first and the most curious experiences at that apartment. We did learn shortly after that there had been an elderly woman who passed away in the apartment, where she was found lying in the hall just outside of the bedroom door. At the same time, it's certainly not an easy stretch for me to label this or any other experience as a ghost story. I simply don't know enough to make that call. I will say that none of the experiences I've personally had has been anything but playful. Thank you. So, there we go. Was this a ghost experience? Was this a poltergeist activity type thing? Why was it that that can of food mysteriously moved from the igloo cooler to the place on top of the cage? And how comes it was able to be placed at that angle, when basically humans who understood how the birdcage operated and how the can of bird food operated itself could not actually get it to balance in that way? How did that happen? You can leave some comments in the comment section if you wish, but it's over to you. Sleep tight.